Hello and welcome to another video. This is about techniques. The second part, electronic torture, techniques 2. In my first video I was talking about electromagnetism, electric currency, and today I try to go to Tesla waves, Scalar waves. Well, Tesla wave, because Tesla found out this special kind of electromagnetic wave, and so this is why I say Tesla wave. Well, let me start again with this picture I had in the last video. This is an electromagnetic wave as we learn in school. There's up and down. This is a transversal wave. You have on one hand you have the electrons, and on the other hand you have here gravitons. So this is a gravitons means magnetic part of a wave, and here it's a big B, so that means B means magnetic field, and there are electrons and gravitons, and they are wiring around an axis. In the middle there's an axis, and there's a direction, and it's moving around the axis, and well, this is what we learn. We also learn there's a spectrum. The electromagnetic spectrum is a big there's a big spectrum. You have on one hand you have here nanometers. Nanometers means it is the distance between a wave. You can call it the length of a wave, or lambda wave length, and here you have frequencies, and this blue, I marked it blue, this is the visible light, and well, you have below the visible lights you have infrared. That means it's warming. If you sit on a fire, you have this warming frequency. It's also sent by the sun. So then you have microwaves, and here there's one microwave frequency. It's interesting for a microwave, 2.45 gigahertz. This is a frequency when water began to move, so you can boil water with it, so the water inside your food is moving, and you make it hot in a microwave, but I would say it's not a good way to make your meal, because it's unhealthy. It destroys all the good things in this food. If you use a microwave, it does a lot of harm, so the food becomes more unusable for us. There's too much destruction of good things inside the food, and if you would only eat food heated by a microwave, you would starving to death. I would say this is quite I can imagine this. I don't have a microwave. There are some articles I read. There are people in the USA. They took out this thing from a microwave, put it in a big antenna, and they shooting at their neighbors through the wall. It's called the poor man's weapon, and Well, this is not what they use against targeted individuals, because they have much more sophisticated weapons than just a microwave from a kitchen. If you should do this, there are some people, they build their weapons for self-defending. Well, it's up to you. I don't do this because my apartment is under observation, so they also go into my apartment. If I would buy such a thing, they would destroy it anyway. So, well, so that makes no sense for me to build such a thing, but there are ways to build it. And well, it's up to you. I think if you are under heart attacks, it's a natural law. Every living form who is attacked try to defend himself. So, well, in the USA you have still the right of the Second Amendment in your Constitution. It allows you to have weapons for self-defending, so why not? But okay, I don't do this because they go into my apartment when I'm not at home, and they would make it unusual. Yeah, they would destroy it, I guess. So, well, let's talk about scalar waves. You see this microwaves here. They are short MW. So that is so it means microwave. There's an interview with Barry Trower and the Western secret services and the Western militaries. They didn't know that there's another part. They just tried different frequencies of microwaves, and they were looking which effects occurs when you shoot at human beings with microwaves. So they found out, well, it's bad for the heart, it's bad for the brain, and they were just changing the frequencies inside this microwave spectrum. But what they didn't know was there's a third part inside every electromagnetic wave. There's a scalar wave part, and Nikola Tesla knew it. He knew it from the beginning. When he came to America, he had something. He saw something in Colorado. He went to Colorado for science, and he saw a big flash from the sky going down to Earth, and it was like a column. It went up and down. It was like a column with light, and it was a standing wave. And he saw this and said, well, this is electricity, and it's a standing wave. And he built some upper machines or antennas to copy this standing wave he saw in the nature. In Colorado, he had a tower. Well, I show you. He started in Colorado with this tower, and there are copper wires. There's a ball on the top, and he was sending a wave to a mountain. And on this mountain there was a lamp, and the lamp began to glow. it was quite far away, and he was able to transport energy without any wire. Here you see a picture again. Here is a source for electromagnetic wave, scalar wave, and the lamp it glues inside his hand without any wire connection. Well, he found it out. There are some people in the internet, they searching about free energy, and well, Tesla was the man who found it first. This kind of transporting energy, that was before this transport with wires, electrons transport by wires was created. This is a natural form, the first form he found out. He made another tower in Long Island. It is called the Wardenclyffe-Tower, and it was built 1905, and it looked like this. It was in New York, Long Island, and it is the same like in Colorado. There are some, well, it's not a generator inside this building. He found out that this can collect the energy from the outside, from the ether, so you don't need much energy to send energy from here to another place. Well, in action it looked like this. This is the Wardenclyffe-Tower. You see this flashes. It goes out from this antenna. It looks like flashes from the sky, but it's not. It's sending out this energy, the scalar waves. You might think, how can this mass or this chaos can go to another antenna? Well, the answer is quite simple. It don't has to go to a certain goal. It goes into the atmosphere. It goes around the Earth 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, many times. And this energy can be catched at any place of our planet. And the Russians, they heard about his techniques. By the way, this tower and all this experience was financed by J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan, the great founder of this great American bank, he gave all this money to Tesla to build this tower, to make all this experience. And the Russians, they heard about this, and there were some agents, they came to America. That was in the time before the Russian Revolution took place. That was before 1917, and they asked Tesla, well, we have a laboratory in Siberia, and we have to transport energy to this place. I don't know, I think it was Novosibirsk, and from St. Petersburg to Siberia, this is a long distance, few thousand miles, maybe like Alaska, Mexico, or even longer. And he said, well, I can do this. He built the same tower in St. Petersburg, and they had energy in Siberia. And there's a funny story. Tesla, he had a car, and he had, in this car there was an iron stick, and he moved this iron stick until the resonance came, and he could drive with his car from this energy they sent out in St. Petersburg. And after a while the Russian agents, they came again to Tesla. They went to him and they said, well, we have a problem in Siberia because our energy is not working very well there, and could you please put your car into the garage and stop this? And he said, well, okay, we pay you money, and so you don't want to be disturbed by your car, and so this shows that this energy can picked up at every place on the Earth. There's no, it is not important distance, because the scalar waves, they're moving around Earth and without any wire. So this is about how it could be free energy, and J.P. Morgan, he had no interests, the elites of America, to build such energy transport systems, because if anybody could find the right frequency, so that means you can move your car or move your machines, and you can't control it, and you can't make money with it. So this is the reason they don't allow Tesla to create this transporting system in America, and so they went to copper wires systems. Well, how is a Tesla wave made? Tesla had a few inventions how to make it. The first way he did it, it was well, it's a kind of copper coil, but there are two copper coils. That was his first invention. The first copper wire coil is with a thin copper wire, and so it's wrapped around I don't know, around a stick, or I don't know, it is iron or not, and on the top there's a ball sending out the energy, and there's a second coil. This is important. It's a bigger wire and it's less wrapping. So that means there's a difference there. So every time the electrodes running through this coil, in the middle there's a magnetic beam, the gravitons start to move, come out, and if you have two different magnetic beams, this is the creation of the Tesla wave. You can imagine if you have a fast magnetic beam and another beam, it's slower, so that means that there's a difference, and the gravitons began to curl. So, and if it curls, there it is creating a tunnel, a tube, and if the energy is enough, there comes another curl, another curl, another curl, and then you have a tube, something like that. So you have this tube, and around this tube you have this electromagnetic wave with electrons and gravitons, and our Western scientists, they always thought, well, we have an electromagnetic wave. Well, I show you. Well, it looks like this. Electrodes and gravitons curling, moving forward, and that's it. But the whole truth is, inside this, there's always a kind of tube, and inside you have a standing wave, it moving in two directions, and you can say it is there's no time. You can if they hit you with these machines, they hit you right in your back brain, and they are maybe 1 kilometer or 1 mile, you say mile, and they can build up such a scalar wave, and well, they see there's no time. It needs no time. If you have the resonance, so you have the resonance of your DNA. Well, your DNA, this is this double helix again. The double helix also produce scalar waves because there are two strings, and imagine in one string the electrons have another speed, so you have also two different magnetic beams, and our body cells they produce scalar waves as well, like here explained in this book by Konstantin Meil. Double helix, two strings. Well, maybe on one string electrons have another speed, and then the other string, and then two different magnetic beams, and there's magnetic curling produced, and then you have a fine scalar wave produced by your body cells, and they are communicating with each other, and it's a standing wave. They are always connected with each other. There's no sleeping time that they stop to send. They always sending, they are always connected. Also we are connected. Our whole body energy is connected with the earth, with the universe, with the morphogenetic field. We are part of this morphogenetic field, and we receive scalar waves from our environment. If we wouldn't, we wouldn't die, because we need this informations. Our body needed from the first form of living millions of years. Our evolution is unthinkable without scalar waves. Well, let me go back to this Tesla. And Tesla, he had another invention. It is called a flat coil. With this flat coil, this is the best way to produce scalar wave. Well, I said you have always scalar waves in an electromagnetic wave, but you can make this part, this scalar part of an electromagnetic wave, you can make it bigger. For example, our cell phones, they are working with electromagnetic waves, but with a big part of a scalar wave. Otherwise you couldn't go into buildings still is receiving signal. So because scalar wave is a standing wave, it goes through material like wood, concrete, because if you have the right resonance, the standing wave is going forward, backward all the time. It's a standing wave. Well, how can it be? If you imagine you have an atom, nuke of an atom, and you have these electrons going around this nuke. If you have a nuke maybe the size of a tennis ball, so the size of our Earth is the cover of the electrons, so there's so much space between nuke and electron, and so there, for a scalar wave it's no problem to go through. This is the reason why they can hit us through the wall. Okay, concrete is even better than the wood. Here in my cabin they can hit me even better than in my home, where I have bricks, walls, bricks and concrete maybe. So it is a different which material, but scalar wave can pass every material. Well, then okay, that was a flat coil, and if you have two flat coils, you can like this. This is also from Tesla. There's one flat coil, there's another flat coil. One is sending, the other one is receiving, and if they have the same frequency, they got into a resonance. It can be worldwide. This can be in America, this can be in Europe or in China, wherever. So, and there are people like Konstantin Meil. They make a small application of this Tesla Scala broadcast. Yeah, you can say Skalar-Wave broadcast. One is the sending one, the other one is the receiving one, and between these balls the scalar waves are standing. It's a standing wave, and you can send energy, you can also send informations, and our cells are sending informations. And for example, there are signals for cancer, and Konstantin Meil find out that you can heal a person if you sending the right signal to his body. Well, this is going into Tom Bearden. Tom Bearden is a physic from your country, America, and he wrote a book, and I showed you last video. It's called Gravitobiology, and in this book he explains something a Russian scientist found out, and his name was Kaznacheyev. Well, he did it in the 70s of the last century, and Konstantin Meil replicated this setting. Well, I show you. In one dish you have cell material of cancer. You can send with a scalar wave to healthy cell material, and it gets cancer, it gets sick. Through the distance doesn't matter. The signal of the sick cell material which has cancer can be sent to a healthy cell material on a dish, and it gets the same cancer. So you can block the signal with a glass, and as you remember, I made a video. I was talking about glass fiber. I put on my back of my head. Well, I show you again. This is the reason why I use this glass fiber, and because glass fiber can block wrong signals, scalar waves, because in this glass, well, I show you again this Kaznacheyev experience. Well, in this glass there are crystals like glass crystals are mostly what is interesting is silicium oxygen. So this is also used in this computer technology. Half in Germany, Halbleiter in English, it is, there are quartzes in these computers. They are they sending signals, and the signals inside this silicium, or in this glass, if you like, it's nearly the same like glass. The signals disturbs scalar wave, so the scalar wave can't go through. So this is a good protection for your head if you have this feeling of feeling dumb or numb or however sick. So, well, you thinking by yourself, can they send cancer? Yes, they can. I must say this. They are. I think maybe by sending it to me also, they can send all kind of illnesses, sickness. What can you do against this? You can't put your whole body into glass. It's not possible. Well, you can use also silver on your bed, like silver for shielding. This blocks also electromagnetic wave, scalar waves. Copper is also good. Well, there are shielding methods, but the best method is to keep yourself healthy. No alcohol, no cigarettes, moving, good food, vitamins. Well, so that you can't get cancer. I would say this. Well, my torture started 3 years again. Well, 3 years is not a long time. It can be that maybe someday I got a cancer. Well, I don't know. Well, it could be, but now at that moment I'm sure I don't have, because I can run. I feel good. So well, but there's a danger. You can send a cancer with scalar waves, and you can even, the machines, they can even read your sickness, and they can enforce your own sickness by taking out this signal, even if you catch a cold. So they catch the signal and they send it back, so you feel even more sick. This is quite usual to me. They always do this. Even if I drink a little bit alcohol, there are also some feelings if you get a little bit drunk, so they can pick up these signals and they send it back, and you don't feel one day drunk, you feel maybe 2, 3, 4 days drunken. It's all possible with this technology, Skalar-Technology. While but the most dangerous thing is to lose your mind, that you go crazy, that you react, overreact, that you're attacking your neighbor, and then they get you into jail. This is the biggest danger. The other things you can fight against. If you are in freedom, if you are in prison, well, then your chances are even smaller to survive. So the biggest danger is to lose your self-control, Well, that's it for today. See you next video.